When most people think of casinos, they picture Vegas or Monte Carlo. Neon lights, towering hotels, blackjack tables, roulette wheels that never stop spinning. New York City doesn't usually make the list. It's Wall Street, Broadway, the Statue of Liberty, yellow cabs. But that might be about to change. Right now, a $20 billion battle is playing out across the city. 9 development teams are fighting to bring Vegas-style gambling to Manhattan, Queens, and the Bronx, with celebrity endorsements, luxury resort plans, and promises of thousands of jobs. So what's going on here? Why is New York suddenly going all in on gambling? But before we dive into the billion-dollar proposals, we need to take a step back. Because technically, New York already has casinos. Well, sort of. The city is home to 2 so-called racinos, a hybrid of racetrack and casino. One's at Aqueduct in Queens, the other in Yonkers. And from the outside, they sound impressive. Thousands of slot machines, rows of electronic games, busy floors filled with glowing screens. Together, they house around 6,000 slot machines. You can play electronic blackjack and digital roulette. But there are no live dealers. No poker tables, no hotels, no shows. These aren't resorts. They're slot machine warehouses bolted onto the side of horse tracks. What the state wants now is something very different. Think Vegas. Full-scale integrated resorts with thousands of hotel rooms, live poker tournaments, Michelin-starred restaurants, and arenas that seat thousands. The shift started in 2020 when New York authorized 3 new full casino licenses for the downstate region, which includes the 5 boroughs and surrounding counties. But getting one wouldn't be easy. Each bidder would need to commit at least $500 million in upfront investment. Just submitting a proposal required a $1 million application fee, and the license itself came with a $500 million price tag. That's over $500 million before breaking ground. Why would anyone do it? Because the return could be massive. The state estimated that license fees alone could raise $1.5 billion, money earmarked for one of New York's biggest pain points, the MTA subway system. On top of that, every casino would pay ongoing taxes. The minimums were set at 25% for slot revenue and 10% for table games. But companies could offer to pay more to sweeten their bids. By 2024, the race was on. 9 development teams submitted proposals. 4 focused on Manhattan, 2 aimed to upgrade existing racinos in Queens and Yonkers, and 3 pitched entirely new resorts in Queens, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. In total, over $50 billion in proposed investment, all competing for just 3 licenses. And every one of them was betting big on New York. Let's start with Manhattan, the most ambitious and the most crowded field. In the heart of Times Square, the city's biggest commercial landlord made a play to redefine entertainment in New York. SL Green Realty, partnering with Caesars Entertainment and Jay-Z's Rock Nation, proposed Caesars Palace Times Square, a $5.4 billion transformation of a mid-century office tower into a full-scale casino resort. The plan centered on 1515 Broadway, a 54-story building wedged between 43rd and 44th Streets. 8 of those floors, more than 380,000 square feet, would be converted into gaming space, including blackjack tables, poker rooms, and high-limit lounges. Above that, a 1,100-room luxury hotel would be layered into the structure, while the existing Minskoff Theatre, home to the Lion King, would be renovated and incorporated into the broader resort footprint. But this wasn't Vegas brought to Times Square. There would be no flashing lights, no casino branding on the facade, and no themed exterior. Instead, the team emphasized restraint, a sleek, discreet entrance designed to blend into the district's theatrical architecture. Jay-Z's Rock Nation brought cultural weight and promised diverse ownership and curated programming aimed at both tourists and locals. The developers also pledged a $250 million community benefits fund supporting sanitation, job training for Broadway workers, and grants for small businesses. And with over 6,000 union jobs on the table, the proposal wasn't just a luxury resort, it was pitched as an economic engine for Midtown. On Manhattan's West Side, one of the most expensive casino proposals in New York history took aim at Hudson Yards. Related companies, the developer behind the neighborhood itself, teamed up with Wynn Resorts to propose a $12 billion super tall tower, a vertical resort designed to stand among the tallest buildings in the city. Rising 80 stories above the Hudson River, the tower would combine a 1,750-room luxury hotel, 1,500 residential units, and a full-scale integrated casino into a single mixed-use structure. The housing was pitched as mixed income, incorporating a range of unit types within a tower built for global high rollers. Every inch of the project bore Wynn's luxury signature, from the cascading lobbies to the sky-high suites. The interiors would be tailored to Manhattan's style but rooted in the resort experience that made Wynn a global name. The idea was total vertical integration. Gaming at the base, hospitality in the middle, residences above, all in one sleek, mirrored monolith. This wasn't just about bringing Las Vegas to New York. It was about delivering a new architectural icon for the Hudson Yards skyline. Something that could stand next to the Edge, the Vessel, and the towers of Manhattan West, and hold its own. The project promised thousands of jobs, millions in annual tax revenue, and a permanent anchor for what's already one of the city's most ambitious mega-developments. On Manhattan's east side, just north of the United Nations, one of the city's most unconventional casino proposals aims to hide the gambling altogether. Freedom Plaza, a bold $11.1 billion development from the Soloviev Group and Mahagan, reimagined what a resort could be by placing the casino entirely underground. Instead of rising into the skyline, the gaming floors would be buried beneath a new pedestrian district, topped with open-air parks, public plazas, and landscaped walkways. Above ground, the plan included more than 1,000 new apartments, with over half designated as affordable housing, the largest affordable housing commitment of any proposal on the table. Surrounding the residential towers, the development called for retail stores, restaurants, and community-focused commercial space, anchoring a new east-west corridor between Midtown and the UN complex. The design would open up long closed blocks near First Avenue, with new public gathering spaces, gardens, and shaded plazas offering one of the most human-scaled environments of any proposal in the race. At the center of the gaming operations was Mahagan, the Native American gaming operator behind Mahagan Sun in Connecticut, bringing decades of resort management experience. For developer Stefan Soloviev, whose family already owned the land, the message was generational. Freedom Plaza wasn't just a casino. It was a neighborhood project designed to integrate seamlessly into the city's fabric. Sleek, subdued, and buried by design, it challenged the notion that casinos needed to dominate the skyline. Instead, it asked whether they could quietly support a more livable city. Further west in Midtown, Silverstein Properties, the company that rebuilt the World Trade Center after 9/11, proposed the Avenir, a two-tower complex designed to blend into the city rather than dominate it. The project spanned 1.8 million square feet, with towers reaching up to 785 feet, linked by a shared podium housing the casino, hotel, and retail space. While no official budget was released, estimates placed the investment between $3 and $4 billion. Construction would take just over 4 years, starting in late 2026, and would employ thousands during the build. The design language was restrained, glass, stone, and metal that echoed Midtown's existing skyline. With decades of experience navigating Manhattan's regulatory labyrinth, the company promised something no other team could, a project that was ambitious but achievable, a casino that wouldn't try to steal the spotlight, it would simply belong there. While developers fought to squeeze casinos into the tight grid of Manhattan, The outer boroughs offered something very different: space, speed, and a head start. In Queens, the Bronx, Brooklyn, and just beyond city limits in Yonkers, developers weren't starting from scratch. In some cases, the infrastructure was already there. In others, the pitch wasn't about glitz, it was about building something that could work now. Just a few miles from JFK Airport, on the grounds of the Aqueduct Racetrack in Queens, the Malaysian gaming giant Genting had a clear advantage. They were already in business. Their venue, Resorts World New York City, was already the largest electronic gaming facility in the state, with more than 6,000 slot machines and digital table games. And now, they weren't pitching a new casino from scratch. They were pitching an upgrade. Their proposal? A $5.5 billion expansion to transform the existing site into a 5.6 million square foot integrated resort, one of the largest of its kind in the world. At the heart of the expansion would be a 350,000 square foot casino floor, this time with live dealers, poker rooms, and full-service gaming. A new hotel complex would add more than 2,000 rooms, making it the largest hotel in New York City. The plan also included a 7,000-seat entertainment arena, new community green space, expanding parking facilities, and enhanced pedestrian connections, aiming to make the resort more accessible to both locals and tourists. In total, Genting projected 24,000 jobs would be created, including 5,000 permanent union positions, backed by strong labor support across Queens. The estimated impact? A $1 billion economic boost to the local economy by 2026. And if completed, Resorts World Queens wouldn't just be the city's largest casino. It would become the largest integrated resort in the United States, bigger than anything in Las Vegas. All they needed now was the license. Further north, just beyond the Bronx, another contender had a head start. Empire City Casino in Yonkers, operated by MGM Resorts International, was already one of only 2 racinos in the New York metro area. Inside, more than 6,000 electronic gaming machines filled the floors, but like Queens Resorts World, there were no live dealers, no poker rooms, and no hotel. MGM's proposal aimed to change that, and fast. With a $2.3 billion expansion plan, the company promised to transform the Yonkers Raceway complex into a full-service casino resort, adding a 350,000 square foot gaming floor, complete with live table games, high-stakes poker, and private gaming lounges. Alongside it, a 5,000-seat entertainment venue would host concerts, sporting events, and community gatherings, supported by a brand-new luxury hotel complex offering direct views of the Manhattan skyline. The project was expected to create thousands of jobs, both during construction and long-term operations, delivering a major economic boost to Westchester County. MGM's pitch was simple. The foundations were already there. The racetrack, the customer base, and the infrastructure all existed. They just needed the green light to expand. And unlike Manhattan's multi-year builds, Empire City could be up and running almost immediately. It was a ready-made resort, waiting for a license to unlock its full potential. Back in Queens, billionaire hedge fund manager Steve Cohen, owner of the New York Mets, had a different kind of vision. He partnered with Hard Rock International to propose Metropolitan Park, a bold $8 billion entertainment district built around the parking lots of Citi Field in Flushing Meadows, Corona Park. At the center, a full-scale casino resort. Surrounding it, a 2,300-room hotel, a signature hard rock music venue, and new pedestrian connections to the nearby USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center and Mets Stadium. Cohen positioned the development as a year-round destination, one that would transform a dead zone of parking into a live, walkable hub of sports, concerts, dining, and nightlife. The project also sought to capitalize on existing game day traffic, drawing from the 3 million annual visitors to Mets games alone. But the project wasn't without controversy. Some environmental groups raised concerns about building on public parkland. Others worried about traffic congestion in surrounding neighborhoods. Still, with the Mets, the US Open and a global brand like Hard Rock all within walking distance, Metropolitan Park positioned itself as Queens' next mega attraction and a serious contender for the license. Across the East River, in the Bronx, a $4 billion proposal took aim at the city's northern edge. Bally's Corporation proposed building a massive resort on the site of the former Trump golf links at Ferry Point Park. The plan? A 3 million square foot complex including 500,000 square feet of gaming space, 3,500 slot machines, 250 table games, a 500-room hotel, and a 2,000-seat event center, all overlooking the water with views of the Manhattan skyline. Bally's also pledged strong union hiring and promised the project would bring thousands of jobs to a borough with one of the city's highest unemployment rates. But one element of the proposal drew intense scrutiny. According to court documents from a 2023 civil case, Bally's agreed to pay the Trump Organization $115 million if the casino were built, a contractual holdover from when the site was managed by the former president's company. That meant if Bally's won a license, Donald Trump would personally profit. Critics immediately called for investigations into possible conflicts of interest. But Bally's argued that the deal had been illegally assigned and that their focus was on delivering jobs, economic development, and the Bronx's first ever integrated resort. And finally, in Brooklyn, one proposal tried to bring high-stakes gambling back to one of New York's oldest entertainment districts. Thor Equities, partnering with the Chickasaw Nation, pitched the Coney, a $3.4 billion casino resort at Coney Island. Their vision was to revitalize the area with a 1.4 million square foot entertainment complex anchored by a casino but surrounded by retail, restaurants, and new public attractions. The project would have marked Brooklyn's only entry into the race and the only casino directly on the beach. Developers positioned it as a way to extend Coney Island's seasonal economy into a year-round destination, leveraging its existing history, infrastructure, and name recognition. But it would also need to navigate concerns about neighborhood character, traffic, and affordability in a rapidly gentrifying corner of the city. So, 9 bold visions, billions in promised investment, and only 3 golden tickets up for grabs. By September 2025, the future of New York's casino race came down to more than flashy renderings and celebrity endorsements. Every proposal had to face the same test, a vote from their local community advisory committee. And one by one, the Manhattan bids were knocked out. Times Square's plan, backed by Jay-Z and Caesars, fell short with just 2 votes in favor. Hudson Yards didn't pass either. Freedom Plaza, the city's most ambitious proposal near the UN, lost 4-2, and the Avenir never made it past the gate. These rejections aren't technically final. The state's gaming commission still holds the ultimate say, but in New York's casino history, no project has ever moved forward without local approval. And as Manhattan Borough President Mark Levine put it, the bar for approving a casino in Manhattan was always going to be extremely high. In contrast, the outer boroughs saw a very different result. Resorts World's massive expansion in Queens passed unanimously. Bally's Bronx proposal cleared its vote 5-1. Even MGM's Empire City in Yonkers got a green light, before the company abruptly pulled out at the last minute, citing shifting odds and a shorter license window than expected. That withdrawal left 3 contenders standing, and 3 licenses still on the table. Which means, unless the state breaks with precedent, the winners may already be locked in. The final licenses are expected by the end of 2025, and if everything goes to plan, construction could begin the year after. But even now, one thing is clear. This isn't just about gambling. It's about power, land, and who gets to shape the future of New York. Whether it's Queens, the Bronx, or somewhere still unexpected, these decisions will leave a permanent mark on the city. the next generation of New Yorkers will live with the consequences. So, what do you think? Did Manhattan dodge a bullet or miss a golden opportunity? And which proposal would you have picked? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more megabuild stories, make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Thank you for watching it.